What is your will, my master?
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Quick demo video for you for your Darkness V3 that you sent me. All done. Install with the Proffie V2. There's actually a lot to this guy, so we'll go over it real quick, right? It's a 2-button setup. So I made your activation switch this large button back here, and then your auxiliary is going to be the bottom section of the pillbox right here. I don't know if you can hear that in the mic, but that's clicking too, right? So 2-button setup. You've got 3 sets of CC Sabers lit PCBs, so 1 in the main and then 2 for your side blades. And I think you have some side blades coming from Sean, but obviously I don't have them here, right? One thing I would caution about that happened recently is don't try to take a 7/8 inch blade that's too tight for this guy and put it in here and try to wiggle it back and forth and get it to go in. What you're going to do is you're going to loosen the quillions. So this shroud and this shroud, they're each held on with 1 bolt that goes right in, and it bolts to the main body, and that's behind that PCB holder, which means it's impossible to get to unless you totally disassemble this thing, right? So what I do is I go through and I tighten all that stuff up, make sure that it's nice and snug, that it's not going to come loose on you. But if you take this piece right here, right, with like a blade that's too big or something, and you jam it in there and you wiggle it back and forth, this piece is going to loosen that bolt, and then there's going to be problems. So don't do that. The blades coming from Sean, they're meant to go straight in and come straight out, and that's what we do right there. But I do have this test blade right here that I'm going to put in and show you that each side of these fire up like they should. And then I've got a small main blade here that we'll put in, and I'll show you that the main blade fires off too, right? To get to everything, what you want to do is undo these 3 bolts. So you got 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. All 3 of those need to come out. Before you do that, though, you want to come back on this back switch and pull that out with a pair of tweezers. It's on a magnet. You get a pair of tweezers, pull it right out. You see that magnet? And we'll set that off to the side, and now we can take off these 3 bolts. I think I was about to say it. Your kit comes with several different size Allen keys, all for different pieces of this saber, right? So they'll be put in your box, same as it came to me. Takes a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then before we take this last one out, on this wire right here, I cut it in between right here at this clip. So you could just pull it like that and just pull it free. Okay. And then we'll take the last bolt out. Once you have all 3 of those bolts out, this shroud will be loose. So if you want to hold it like this, and you can pull the handle right off. This shroud is kind of free floating. So if you wanted to, you could take it all the way out, and then it would expose everything that you've got here, right? So you can see this is your auxiliary switch right here. Back here is your main activation switch, the one that had the magnet on it like that, and it holds that switch, right? And then pull the switch off, and then your chassis. I did some slight weathering on this guy so it would match the inside of the saber. It takes a removable 21700 battery that I'll include with the kit. You've got a 28 millimeter Smokers Outpost Elite speaker. You've got a kill switch right here. I can show you that in the light. You can see it right there. It's set to off right now. And then your Proffie board. The Proffie is just a nice tight snap fit down into the shelf. So if you ever need to pop it up, you can. Although you can get to your SD card and your micro USB from here and never pop up the board. So you don't really have to, but you can if you need to. Okay, so we'll throw a battery in this guy. I got the stock font package on here, and then also the 2 sound fonts that you sent me. The battery is an extremely tight snap fit into this chassis, and it's meant to be that way. I don't know if you heard that, but it's a tight snap. It won't move. You won't be able to get it out with your finger, but I'll show you how to do that at the very end. But yeah, so we've got the battery in, and we can come over here and hit the kill switch.
I know the rest of your story.
It's a good sign. And then we'll start assembling this back. So we need to put the shroud back on. Move that red wire out of the way. And then it will go exactly where it needs to. It'll fit right in. And then you'll see a notch in your handle right here. That notch lines up with your pillbox right here, right? So that's how you want to slide that in. It only goes in one way. And it clips all the way in. And now we need to go back through and put those 3 bolts back on. So once we've got those 3 bolts on, we can come over here and we can take our wire and we can put it back in that clip just like that, so it looks like it was never cut, right? It's all one piece. And then take your main switch with the magnet on it and just throw it right in the hole back there. It'll find its way, right? And then you can hit activation. Nice smooth swings, working nice. Twist off. I did not give you swing on or anything like that because there's so much to do to put this saber back together once you put a battery in. I made it to where you do have to hit the button to turn it on, but you can twist off just like that. And you'll notice you have delayed reactions in your, or a delayed ignition in your quillion. So you'll notice your main blade fires off before these do. Same over here, obviously. Just like that. I'm not going to do too much swinging around with this guy. We're just going to put this blade in. I'm going to hold it in and show you that it lights up like it should. Just like that. And then I'll do one for each of the side quillions, right? We'll put this in. A pretty tight fit. And have it all the way in. There we go. So it's only programmed to go that far because it's a side blade, and that's about how long your side blades will be. So we'll take that out. And we'll put it in on this side. Just like that. So this, both sides are firing up and doing exactly what they should, right? And we'll take this out. To get to your soundtrack on each of your fonts, just do a long press on your power button and let go. And then do the same thing to turn it off. A long press and let go. And then to change sound fonts, just hit auxiliary. Now we're on your other one, right? Auxiliary. And you get the delayed ignition on this sound font as well. Other side. And then you have all of your stock fonts on here.
Smooth Jedi.
Now these will all fire off all 3 blades at the same time.
Smooth gray.
This one's a rainbow blade, so you can play around with those if you want, but I think the first 2, obviously, that you have me put on are the coolest, right? So now we want to get back to everything when we're all done, and we got to go and we got to take this handle off again. I know it's a bit of a process, so I'll probably cut the video. I'll edit this part out, and I'll come back when the handle's off. So now I got the handle off. I'll go ahead and I'll take the shroud off. If I ignite it, and you'll notice when I come over here and I hit the kill switch, it cuts everything off exactly like it should, right? And then you won't be able to get this out with your finger. So what I do is I just use a small tool like the back of a pair of tweezers from the positive side over here by the speaker. And you can pop the battery out just like that. And that's pretty much your Kylo. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will try to get this out in the mail to you today. All right, thanks, man.